Well, a lot going on. Luis Severino gone from the Mets, signs with the A's, 3 years, $67 million. So the Mets will have to replace him in their starting rotation. Soto, news on the Soto sweepstakes, all that plus more coming up right here. Locked Up Sports. I'm Bob Walters. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, you can email the show at lockedupsportsshow@gmail.com, and you could always visit us at lockedupsports.net, lockedupsports.net, as well as find us anywhere you get your podcasts and on YouTube, as always. So a lot going on. Thursday here, the winter meetings next week, 3 days in Dallas, Texas, from the 9th through the 12th. And listen, that might be where Soto, he might make his decision then, right after the winter. It's probably going to be in the next 10 days, I would say. And there's a lot of news there. But first, let's start. Severino signs with the A's, 3 years, $67 million. Sorry to see him go, but I don't blame him because it's a whole ton of money that nobody else was going to give him. And, the A's are the team that give it to him, the team that couldn't, spare a nickel over the last 5 years, all of a sudden comes up with 3 years, $67 million for Severino. I mean, it's a good deal for him, right? Money wise, but he's not going to go anywhere near the playoffs. They're not going to be a good team. They did need some, something to draw the fans there because they can't be as bad as they were last year or, in the last couple of years. So they do have Severino now. He's going to probably be their ace, and he's gone from the Mets. So now the Mets have to replace that piece. Walker Buehler, possibly from the Dodgers. That would be more than filling Severino's shoes in the Mets staff, and that would be a great pickup if the Mets can get him. Now I don't know what the money or the years look like on Buehler, but I would love to have Walker Buehler as a New York Met. And then with Soto, listen, it's still the 5 teams. It's the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Dodgers. Now, Mark Feinsand, the Yankee reporter, comes out and he says the Yankees think that they're going to get the last crack, regardless of what the money is and the years. That Soto wants to stay with the Yankees, so he's going to give them the last bite at the apple. He's going to, after he gets the final offers, he's going to go to them with the largest offer and say, I'm yours if you match it. Does that make the Yankees the front runner? How high will they go? Because there are now reports. Jeff Passan is saying that it could be in the range of 15 years, $750 million. Now, that's a lot of money. Now, if he goes back to the Yankees and he says, listen, Cohen offered me 15 years at $750 million. Do you want to match it? Will they match it? I don't know. Now, is that kind of using the Mets to bid against themselves, basically? Maybe. There's also reports that the Blue Jays have the highest offer money-wise, but it's not the same because that's Canada and the conversion rate isn't the same. So it's really not the highest amount, if that makes any sense to you. And I think the Mets are still a front runner just because they have the most money. They could go higher than anybody else. But will they? But now that the report is that the Yankees think that he's going to give them a chance to match it. Now that means that the ball will always be in their court, and they will always have the last at bat here in the Soto sweepstakes, and it worries me a little bit. Now I don't know if I would give anybody 15 years at any amount of money, at $750 million. But again, I'm not big on it's too much money because it's not my money, and there's no salary cap, and Cohen has endless supplies of money. $750 million is as ridiculous as it is to say, is not, a ridiculous amount of money for him. It really will not even put a dent in his fortune. So I'm okay with going there. Now, the back end of that contract of the last 3-4 years going to be bad, probably. But anytime you get these big contracts, the last couple of years are bad. Look at Stanton for the Yankees. I mean, he just basically, he comes up and he hits. He can't play the field. He misses a ton of games. He's always hurt. He can't run. He hits a couple home runs, but he's nowhere near what he was a couple years ago, and they're still paying him, $30-something million every year. Now, is that contract going to hinder if the Yankees will want to go to the heights that the Mets are going to go? So I still think the Mets are the favorite, But the Yankees, if Mark Feinsand's report is correct, the Yankees will have a shot to match it, whatever it is, because apparently he wants to go to the Yankees, but he wants the most money. Most money is more important, but if all is equal, he would rather go to the Yankees. That's basically what that report is saying. And I don't know if I want him then either. Because you want a guy who, okay, I really wanted to go to the Yankees. I wish they would have matched it. Yeah, I guess you do. Because that'll be all forgotten about after a year or two. You're talking 15 years he's going to be on your team. So he will go into the Hall of Fame if he does, keep on this pace, and he will go into the Hall of Fame with whatever team he signs for. Unless he comes to the Mets and they Robbie Alomar him, and he basically turns into nobody, which is again not out of the question, which is ridiculous to say, but either way. So that's what's going on there. Winter meetings next week, the 9th through the 12th in Dallas. We're going to get a whole bunch. That's where the bulk of these signings is going to happen. There's always a ton of stuff going on there. You put all these GMs in one, banquet room, and things just start to happen. You put the GMs in the banquet room, you put the agents in the banquet room, and trades and signings, they come out of that banquet room, and that's what happens, and that's what's going to happen next week. Soto, he's going to have to make a decision soon because these 5 teams are waiting on him, and all the other players are being signed up. You can't just have Soto and then nobody around him. But the big names have not gone off the board yet. Alonso still unsigned, still a free agent. Soto, obviously, still a free agent. Walker Buehler, still a free agent. So the big names have not really gone off the board. They're still out there. They will probably slowly go as we get into the winter meetings over the weekend. And I think it's Monday is when it ends. But the 9th through the 12th, whenever that is. Today is what? Today's the 5th? So you're a week, you're 4 days from the start of the winter meetings, and it'll be the 9th through the 12th in Dallas. And that's it. That's what's going on with the Soto thing. And Severino leaving, listen, it sucks because he was good. But I'm not terribly upset. It's sad to see him go because he pitched so well, and he's part of that core of the team that we all loved so much last year. That was, again, I'll say it again, one of my favorite Met teams ever. But it's not even that close. Was last year's team. So it sucks when you see it start to dismantle, and it looks like Alonso's going to leave, and you lost Severino, and we'll see who else goes. Will they have Marte? Will Marte come back? Stuff like that. So it's sad to see him go, but I could also see Severino kind of, going back to where he was 2 years ago. Maybe not that bad. Maybe not can't get out of the first inning Severino, but, not the pitcher that the Mets had last year because he's a year older. And that's just what happens. Just look at the Jets. So says Severino to the A's, $67 million over 3 years. Soto, it looks like it could be upwards of $750 million. It looks like the Yankees could have the last bite of the apple. He wants to be a Yankee, but he wants the most money. So he's going to take the highest offer and go to the Yankees and go, hey, it's yours if you want it, but this is what it's going to cost. And that kind of takes the Yankees out of the bidding, right? Because they could kind of just sit back. In the past, you wanted to use the Yankees to kind of get a bidding war going because they would go up, 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 up. You want to get the Mets and the Yankees. Mets say $600 million. The Yankees say $750, $8. You want to just keep going against each other. But the Yankees now, because of this, if it's true, and it's just a report, if it's true, they don't really have to be in the bidding war. They could just sit on the sidelines, wait for the highest offer, and then match it or go $1 higher and land Soto. So, it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's coming down. There's really no news besides that. These are all reports, right? Nobody knows where he's going because if they knew where he was going, they tell you. So nobody really knows. It's all just, rumors and hearsay and sources. And so we don't know what's true and what's not true. But it looks like it's the 5 teams: Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Dodgers. And I think it's going to be either the Mets or the Yankees. And if Cohen wants to, he can outbid all of them. So if he really wants them, and this was it. This is why he bought the team. This is why everybody wanted Cohen as the owner, because we could do this. We could now compete. We could outbid the Yankees. So if he really wants him, and it seems like he does, go out there and put the offer in that you know the Yankees are not going to match. Because he knows where their number kind of is. Just go $50 million over it. Right? He has the money. It's not that big of a deal for him. Just $50 million. He's got all these projects in the work, like the casino he wants to build, and get rid of the chop shops over by Citi Field, and have a whole, bars and restaurants and a mall and a casino. If he gets all that, he'll make it back in spades for whatever he pays for Soto. But you also got to look at it 15 years. You're looking at how many championships do you want to win? How many makes it okay, worth it? Is it one? If you win one championship in 15 years with $750 million, is that enough? Does that make it worth it? What's worth, because you got to figure the last 5 years are going to be not very good. And we're going to be sitting here bitching and moaning about how we're giving him $50 million this year, and he's hitting 220, and he hits 20 home runs. That's going to be the discussion, regardless of where he goes, the last 4, maybe 5 years of the contract. So, but will the first 8 or 10 years make that conversation irrelevant because you won 2 titles or you won 3 championships, something like that? So, that's what's going on there. Again, we won't know until he tells us where he goes. But I'll just throw out there what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That those are the reports that are out there. You figure, you make your own decision whether you believe him, whether because we're all just guessing. Until he tells us, we're all just guessing. And we don't know when he's going to tell us. We don't know anything. We know he met with the teams. He's got some numbers. He's got some years. That's it. That's really the only thing we know, is that we met with everybody that he met with. He come out and, it was a good meeting. Good meeting. Everybody that has, every team that's met with him and every person. He was with Big Papi and the Red Sox last week. Everyone's come out and been like, oh, fantastic. We had a fantastic meeting. It went, we're in. But you don't know. No one's going to come out and be like, oh, man, I think we're out after that. It did not go well at all. The steak was cooked wrong. We offered him. He laughed at our offer. There was none of that. So everybody's had a good meeting with Soto. These are just reports. We'll see where it goes. But the one thing that we do know, Severino to the A's, $67 million over 3 years. And now the Mets have a hole to fill in their rotation. I would like it to see it be filled by Walker Buehler, who pitched excellent in the postseason, pitched great in the World Series. He pitched great against the Mets in the league championship series. I'd like to see him on the mound at Citi Field in blue and orange. And that would be, I think that's much better than Severino. As good as Severino was, Walker Buehler would be much better. So that's what's going on there. You got, so that's going to do it. News today again, baseball. Severino gone to the A's, 3 years, $67 million. Soto, rumors and reports, and we don't know. But the rumors are that he wants to go to the Yankees, but he wants the most money. He wants to go to the Yankees, but he wants them to pay the most money. He's not going to give him a discount, nothing like that, but he's going to give him a chance to match or beat the best offer. That's just a report. We'll see what it is. The Mets are still in the driver's seat, I think, because they have the most money. They have the richest owner. And that's what Soto, all the reports, although they differ, they all say that he's going for the most money. So, and that would be the Mets. If they really want him, if Cohen really wants to put his foot down and say, listen, that's what he was saying, right? And the other owners didn't like him because of it. And he's going to put up raise the cost of players. And let's see what he does. Let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is, or where his mouth has been for the last couple of years. And, he also he did that in the first 2 years ago. And it all fell apart. It was terrible. Right? He went out and he got this guy. Soto's different, though. Soto's a young kid. He's 24 years old. You got 10 years at least out of him of good Hall of Fame caliber, all-star, best player in the game, baseball left in that 24-year-old. And it's just how much are you willing to pay him? The numbers that they're throwing around are outrageous. You're talking $50 million a year, 7-8 years, $750 million. We'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave us a review. Don't forget, you could always email us questions, comments, anything you got to say. If you email us some questions, we'll read them on the air. We'll answer them for you. That's what we do around here. We like to answer your questions. We like to make the shows for you. We like to make sure you enjoy it. So if there's something you'd like to see, hit us up. Let us know. Leave us a review. subscribe. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, whether it's on YouTube or on the audio end at the podcast level. Either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios.